But here we go, we are diving into our second series of the night. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Inside Now, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Team Super. It is the TheZergLord. Not the CranKy Ducklings. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Inside and Out, we have the Peruvian Protoss player. He is blue, representing Team TGCF. It is XionS. Not Daredevils. Here we go. So two very strong players of their respective races in Latin America. It's hard to say who's the favorite. I feel like in recent times, XionS has been coming out on top. He does have a very frustrating style to play against. He can be very turtly, but I wonder if that's still the case. Because these past couple of months we haven't been able to cast Sentimiento Latino, I don't know how much XionS has adapted his style. We talk about this a lot, you know, we talk about the hero style, we talk about, you know, triple we talk about Stargate openers into triple Oracle, into Blink Stalkers, for example, you know, that hero style. Unfortunately, I just haven't been able to see much of XionS. I don't know if he's really akin to that. I don't know if he's still playing Skytoss, because I know he was really good at Skytoss. I mean, who wasn't? So yeah, I'm really curious to see kind of where this all shapes up and how he plays, and if the TheZergLord can adapt. I know the TheZergLord is also another really aggressive player. I don't know what it is about the Brazilian Zergs, but they do kind of lean towards that style. They don't want to be reactive. They want to force the Protoss to react to them, sometimes to their detriment. But yeah, I'm really curious to see like how things have changed over the past couple of months. It's been so long since I've seen them, Papi. It's been so long. So we'll see. As for the time being, you know, we have some pretty standard openers here from XionS. The wall should not be a wall. We're going to be throwing down our tech relatively soon once we have the gas for it. Oh, and I forgot. XionS does this in almost every matchup. He does this against Zergs and against Protoss. He goes for the hidden pylon in the main base, and if he can get away with it, he will warp in Adepts into your main. So some things never change. Some things always stay the same, and now I worry a little bit for the TheZergLord. So this is, again, like, XionS has a reputation. Everyone knows about this, but it's been a while since they played each other. So the TheZergLord, is he willing to check his main, or is he going to get punished? Because Warp Gate is halfway done. There is that Stargate. This is going to get scattered by the Overlord, so at least, the gateway is going to get scattered by the Overlord. The Stargate is hidden in the main base. So the TheZergLord is a little bit in the dark. He should assume that it is going to be a Stargate opener, and he should be getting ready with queens. We should be seeing 2 queens in each base, and here we go. Here's the second queen at the natural, and there's the second queen in the main base on the way as well. So we should be fine against oracles, and there we go. The TheZergLord, he checks his main base, because you have to against XionS. So if you're out there, if you're 5.6 to 5.8k, or if you're high GM, I mean, you probably already know anyway, that this is just what XionS does on the NA ladder. Oh, is he setting up another proxy pylon out here on the map? He's opening up Void Ray first, so he's more concerned with clearing out Overlords, but this is a very nice timing from the TheZergLord. He goes in with his Overlord. He doesn't just scout the Void Ray that's on the way, he also scouts the Twilight Council, so he knows that it is going to be a transition into ground toss. His things are being active, so he also recognizes that there is no third base, so he knows that it's going to be a bit of a commitment into 2-base play, into, you know, maybe even a 2-base all-in, as XionS now throws down his third just as the TheZergLord moves away. So Adepts are coming across the map. They don't have Glaze, but they do get 2 drones as they are being transferred, so very nice pickups. He goes into the main base, is going to be able to get 3, 4, can he get 5? Can he get 6? Oh my god. He almost got 6 drones. For 2 Adepts, not bad at all. Lings are going to rock up. They're going to confirm the third base. But now, we have to make sure that the third isn't a fake third. It should be real because we don't really have a gateway explosion. As I say that, 3 more gates are on the way. So this is going to be 5 gates in total. That's not that many, to be honest. That's pretty standard. So Zion should be looking to saturate and establish this third. Of course, the ZergLord just needs to make sure that the space is being saturated and the drones are being transferred. And he saw a couple, I think, on the way. So there we go. He's going to be able to drone up happily. We have 12 drones on the way. We're getting fully saturated on 3 bases. We should be seeing a 4th relatively soon. We've got a lair on the way as well. We do see that the ZergLord, he didn't skip his Roach Warren either. So a safety Roach Warren, in case there was a commitment into 2-base play, he would have been able to invest and make roaches to defend. So he's in a pretty good position, other than losing those 5 drones earlier. Outside of that, Zions, he's just getting fully saturated here on his bases. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a 2nd Stargate. We have 2 Void Rays for the time being, and he's pushing out here with Charge Lots and Void Rays. This is going to be a very awkward timing. This is scouted. We have Roaches on the way. Queens are getting in position. This isn't all in by any means, but this is designed to maybe even break the 4th base. He's going straight up through the middle, though. I'm not too sure about this. Yeah, this is really ambitious from Zion's, really hoping to catch the ZergLord off guard, and he has to be careful not to lose too much. He lost 1 Zealot here for 10 or so Lings. Not bad. He's going to be able to back off in the end. I'm glad he didn't commit. He pokes in, he threatens the Zerg player a little bit, and then he'll establish another base. And there we go. This is what I was assuming that he would do. He throws down 2 more Stargates and a Fleet Beacon. He's going from Charge Lots straight into Sky Toss. Meanwhile, he rotates on over, and ooh, he should be able to get a kill on this 4th base. So we have enough energy for Transfuse. Oh, we need a couple more, and it looks like we barely have enough. We barely hold on with the very last Transfuse. Oh my god. The ZergLord will not lose his 4th base. Meanwhile, we also have a Dark Shrine on the way here for Zion. So currently, Zion is very, very vulnerable. Look at the units tab. This is his army. Two Void Rays and 5 Zealots, and that's it. And if the ZergLord attacks now, we have carriers on the way. We have 3 carriers, which will be insane if he gets them, but he won't get them for another minute or so. Here we go. The ZergLord went in with an Overseer. He scouts all 3 of those Stargates. Mate, we need a counterattack now with these Roaches. Otherwise, the Roaches are just going to be useless. We have a Spire on the way. Queens are waddling over. We have a massive push coming out from the ZergLord. But he's working his way through the rocks. It's going to take a little bit of time here. The first carrier is already coming out. 1 carrier is not going to be enough, though. So here we go. We have a massive window for the ZergLord. He is up 70 supply. And Zion's, he's being caught with his pants down. He's being caught just being a little bit too greedy. Going from Charge Dot straight into Skytel, straight to triple Stargate. It's just almost impossible to pull off. And here we go. We have Queens here for anti-air. There just aren't enough interceptors either. The 3rd base goes down immediately. There's nothing to contest the Roach Ravager. The Vials even force the carriers back. And Queens are just continuing to be pumped out. We do have a couple of DTs though, and we actually have no detection. The DTs are actually doing a lot of work right now. And the ZergLord hasn't noticed. He should notice now. He should be. There we go. The Overseers are coming on in. The DTs get cleaned up. They did a lot of work. Don't get us wrong. But there it is. GG gets called, and the ZergLord will take the first game. Not allowing Zions to get into Sky Toss, because that was disgusting. Oh god. Off of 2 Void Rays and 5 Zealots. Ay. Straight into triple Stargate. Animal. So greedy. I understand the greed on a larger map, you know, like Cosmic Sapphire or Tropical Sacrifice, but on a smaller map like Inside and Out, it can be really difficult as a Protoss player to get away with that sort of thing. You need more room, you need more time, you need more breathing room, and that's just something that is really difficult to get in this matchup. Sorry, on this map. Here we go. We're going to be continuing our series here. Just setting up the players. There we go. we will continue. Meanwhile, I have confirmation. I have confirmation that Eggs and Eric are mid-series. I don't know what the score is, but I think they're in game number 2. So, oh boy. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. How do I put the house on the ZergLord? I'll set up predictions for the next couple of series. I'll do my best. I'll do my best. As we are jumping into game numero dos and spawning in the top right hand corner of Data Under the Sea, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Team Super. It is the ZergLord. And spawning in the bottom left hand corner of Data C, we have the Peruvian Protoss player representing Team TGCF. It is XionS. Oh boy. Here we go, and yeah, that was a very interesting game number 1. Things were relatively passive up until we saw XionS being pretty greedy, and we saw the ZergLord punish that greed, bearing in mind that he did scout all 3 Stargates with an Overseer, so it was a reactive decision, and the correct decision as well. Instead of, you know, droning up and teching up and taking things slower, from the Zerg side at least. So we'll see how things change for XionS. This is an easier map to defend on 4 bases and to try and skip a bunch of tech and go into SkyToss. Like, if you're going to do it on a map, Data C isn't a bad map for that. But at the same time, I feel like XionS is kind of known for that kind of play, so yeah, I would hope he goes for something a little bit different here. I would hope that if he does intend to try and go into fast SkyToss, that he does so in a safer way, like taking into Robo and going Disruptors, for example, a little bit faster, like in between the tech, so he can have at least something to defend against a Roach counterattack. We'll see, we'll see. As the openers are really pretty standard, XionS just being a little bit annoying here, tasing away at the drones. Ha. Ha. As we have a Hatchgas full opener from the ZergLord, we've got our 2 queens on the way, our links as well. Likewise, nothing out of the ordinary for XionS. This time, XionS doesn't have the freedom to throw down a pylon in the main base. The ZergLord just gonna be checking that, just making sure. No shenanigans going on here. And yeah, as a reminder, the winner of this series will move on to face the winner of Eggs versus Eric. Regardless, it will be a Zerg player. Part of me hopes to avoid the mirror matchup, but I don't think that's something we can do in Latin America. You know, Zergs have always been the dominant race in Latin America, numbers-wise at least. I know Juanito was the king of LatAm for a long time. Recently was dethroned by Cham. For those that remember, in DreamHack Valencia, Cham was able to bring down a Special, and Kellezer has also been looking really good recently as well. Special maybe resting on his laurels a little bit too much, a little bit too long. Yeah, hopefully he's going to be able to get back into form next year. Again, if we do have continuing... Oh my god. If we do have another DreamHack. Meanwhile, we do see a Stargate opener straight into a Twilight Council, very similar to last game. This Twilight Council is much faster though in comparison, but there's the Void Ray to deny any kind of scouting. We should be seeing charge. We don't have any additional gases being taken here at the natural, and the Overlord is gonna dip on it. Once again, just before the 4-minute mark, the ZergLord throws down a Roach Warren. It's not a fast Roach Warren by any means. It is a safety Roach Warren just in case he goes up against Glaive Adepts or any kind of Twilight Council opener. He is going to be prepared for that. And he's going to check and confirm, oh, this is just like last game. XionS is taking a faster third though. I say like this is a standard third timing, but faster compared to last game. So it feels like XionS has maybe warmed up a little bit after that game. Like, it feels like his overall build is more crisp and more on point. He kills one Overlord. He misses the second, though, just barely. The ZergLord is going to be supply blocked, making 3 Overlords. So a little bit brutal here as he's continuing to drone up and, yeah, just going to get ready to receive whatever comes his way. 4 gateways in total here for our zealots. We're getting warped in. We're going to be protecting that third base. And we don't have enough energy for transfuse, so another Overlord is going to go down. Ay, ay, ay. Not ideal as ZergLord is going straight into his lair. Again, very reminiscent of the last game. We're just droning on up. We're saturating all of our gases as well. There's our Evo chamber. 1 for the time being. I do think that the ZergLord is going to have less success if he tries to go for another big roach timing off of a 3-base economy. Just because of the layout of this map, we have a lot of ramps going up into the third base, a lot of high ground to take advantage of if you're the defender. We have shield batteries, we have void rays. Once again, the ZergLord waits for 2 rounds of warp-ins and he goes across the map. It's just, it's literally the same build. Again, just a little bit more crisp from the side of the ZergLord. It's going to push up this ramp. Roaches are on the way. They should get here in time, and immediately the ZergLord will back off. Now, this is where I wonder if the ZergLord is going to adapt. Nope. I was about to say, is he going to wait before he goes into his transition? Not at all. He doesn't miss a beat. This is faster though, what I will say, like taking these 2 extra Stargates in the fleet beacon, everything here is just a little bit faster compared to the previous game. We do see him immediately dive on this 4th base, and that is a cancel. Very nicely done. And he's been having an easier time rotating between the bases. Does get forced back. Immediately we see a Spire thrown down as an Overseer goes into the main base and scouts all these Stargates. And I'm curious if the ZergLord is going to drone or make roaches from here. Because bearing in mind he's going to have less production because he doesn't have a 4th base. It got cancelled. It may, yeah, I was going to say it's probably worth double expanding, and there we go. He takes 2 bases. He's making some links to move out across the map to try and deny any 4th base, or maybe even apply some pressure here towards the 3rd. It does feel like the ZergLord isn't going to be as committed this time. Let's have a lot of queens there. Yo, the Overlords are moving out. I spoke too soon. The ZergLord is setting up a highway. At the same time, XionS, he needs to counterattack. He needs to do whatever he can to keep the ZergLord back at home. There we go. He's going to force a reaction. Once again, another cancel on the 4th base. It is going to cost XionS every single Zealot and maybe even his Void Rays as well. Oh, boy. Up, up, up. It looks like they both will just barely manage to escape here. Luckily, the ZergLord did double expand, so he will still have a 4th base, but no 5th, unfortunately. He's going to need a little bit more time. Corruptors are on the way. Carriers are coming out. We now have 3. We're about to have 6. But the push is coming. Bear that in mind. And this push is going to be a little bit different. We're going to rely a lot more on queens this time. Less gas invested into these roaches. Instead, we're going to focus on queens and transfusing these corruptors. We're not going to have too many of them, but they are going to be king here in the sky. So we go. The corruptors are coming out. There is that highway being set up as well. What's our defensive position looking like? We have 4, 5, 6 cannons, 3 shield batteries, and an overcharge. This 3rd base will not be broken. But the ZergLord is not going to the 3rd. He's heading over towards the 4th instead. Creep is being spread here. More tumors being thrown down. 4th does get spotted. We have Ravagers as well. Ravager Corruptor Queen is going to be insane. The 4th base is denied. But what do we do from here? The ZergLord could try and contain his opponent to 3 bases, or he could try and break into the natural or even the 3rd base. He's going for it. It can be a risky thing to do. He has to take things slow. That's a lot of carriers, Pappy. It's a lot of carriers. I don't think we can do this. I really don't. We have a couple of transfuses coming in, but the queens are going down, and with 6 carriers, yeah, they're going to be able to break through. They're being forced back by some of these Ravagers, but a lot of queens just went down. 4 queens just fell. And yeah, the ZergLord does back off. I think if we want to do this, we need spores. Just start making spores here on the front lines. The ZergLord's economy is not bad, don't get us wrong. He's working on some upgrades as well. But I think we need a more secure anchor point here. Okay, he's moving around. He's sharking around with his corruptors, looking for a way in. There we go. XionS is being forced to expand towards the north. Yo, the ZergLord. Oh god, committing here is not really what we want to be doing. He does take down one carrier. Only one. He gets a Void Ray as well, I guess. What did that cost us? That costs us one carrier for 5 corruptors. I don't know if that was worth it. I do appreciate this though. We know where the carriers are, so the corruptors are going to rotate around and try and caustic spray down the Nexus. At the same time, we should be spreading creep in this direction. We need to deny this fourth desperately here for the Zerg player. Here we go, caustic spray on the Nexus. Is this enough to bring it down? The Void Rays are able to respond here in time, and yeah, they're going to be able to force this away. At the same time, Roach Ravager comes in, and the carriers were not left at the fourth. We should be seeing it cancel. It's going to be close. Oh, with these Zealots, I think it may just barely be enough. The Void Rays come in as well, and if he doesn't force a cancel, that's a massive investment. Yeah, oh my god. The entire Roach Ravager army goes down for nothing. Almost got the Nexus, but almost is not good enough. And XionS, I think he's done it. He's achieved his goal. 7 carriers, Void Rays, Tempests. He's getting his ideal Skytoss army. We still don't have an infestation, but we need a hive. Oh no, this is not the fight we want to be taking. 1, 2, 3 corruptors go down. Very quickly, things are swinging in favor of our Protoss player, but here we go. The Queens are coming in for a fight. Nice target firing there on those Void Rays. The ZergLord, he fights back, Papi. 11 more corruptors on the way. Oh, we can one-shot carriers. One carrier goes down immediately. We have a couple more Void Rays, but we need the support from the Queens. We have to respect the prismatic alignment here as well as the Void Rays push on forward. Ooh, and every Queen goes down. The transfuses were not fast enough. Oh, but the carriers for a single moment are left exposed. Looks like the corruptors are going for every single Void Ray instead, and they're going to be able to get the majority of them. There's only 2. There's 1 Void Ray left, and it's barely going to be enough. We don't have enough left over to kill the carriers, though. He's going to get 1. He gets 1 at the same time as Zealot run by. Do we have a ground army? We have a handful of roaches, and we are going to be able to hold on to this hatchery. Oh boy, it's all about the reinforcements at this point. The ZergLord traded a lot of units. Looking at the units lost tab, 53 corruptors. 53 corruptors to reset the Void Ray count, which was only 13, by the way. Only like 12. And he's making 5 Void Rays at a time. This is no longer efficient. It was never efficient. Cost efficient here for the ZergLord. For him not to go for the Hive, for him not to go for Vipers forcing Micro out of the Protoss player, supporting the Corruptors. He's trying to brute force it. I understand. The ZergLord doesn't want to play late game. He wants to end things before things get too out of hand. It's a sentiment that I understand and I see a lot of Zerg players do. Like Sola does this a lot as well. But unfortunately, XionS, he's kind of weathered the storm, you know? He's kind of survived the worst of it. And at this point, the ZergLord is just ramming into a brick wall. It's not impossible. There's a world where he like catches the Void Rays by themselves, or he catches the carriers by themselves or something. But the ZergLord is very much so on the back foot. Yeah, this hatchery is going to be going down at the same time the Corruptors come in to take down the Nexus, and it looks like they will be able to snipe the Natural. But XionS doesn't care. He's not backing down. He's going across the map. He's going to be right-clicking down this hatchery as well. And the ZergLord knows he can't really fight this. He has to come back home with the Corruptors, but... oh boy. There's no stopping this Protoss, mate. Not at all. Natural is under threat. The Spire is going to be going down as well. Ugh. And at this point, the ZergLord has one fight left in him. We have 32 Corruptors. With a good enough angle, with good enough biles as well. Can he do it? Can he take the fight? He's going to be going in. The biles do rain down upon these carriers, but the Void Rays start to step forward. They activate the Prismatic Alignment as well. And the Void Rays are just going ham. Oh my god. Yeah, and every single Corruptor is going to be going down here. GG gets called. XionS takes game number 2. Oof. Doing what he does best, and that is just turtle, defend, until we get like 200 supply of Skytoss. He doesn't have any High Templar. He doesn't have any disruptors. Just Void Rays and carriers, man. That's all you need, Papi. That's all you need. GG. Oh, and now we're going to be getting into the ace match. Again, the ZergLord never intended for the game to go on that long. That's why he didn't have a hive. That's why he didn't have any spellcasters. He just didn't want to play out that kind of game. And I understand. It's not a very enjoyable position to be in. It's not very it's not a very enjoyable style to play against. So I don't blame the ZergLord, but unfortunately, again, like what he was going for, his composition that he had, it has a certain amount of longevity to it. It has, you know, the window does close at some point. So yeah, it's not ideal if the game goes on for a little bit too long. And GG gets called in the end. I do think that the ZergLord probably could have made this work if he was able to actually keep XionS to 3 bases. As soon as XionS got that 4th up, I was like, oh no. I was like, this is not gonna work out. And here we go, the ace match, the final game between these two players. And spawning in the top left hand corner of Stargazers, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Team Super. It is the ZergLord. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Stargazers, we have the Peruvian Protoss player representing Team TGCF. It is XionS. Vámonos, papi, vámonos. And I'm just happy because we're on Stargazers. We almost never get to see Stargazers in competitive play, especially in best of 3s, because it gets vetoed so often, but somehow, some way, this map did not get vetoed. And that tells me one thing. That tells me that the ZergLord, he wants to Nidus. This is a great map for Nidusing. The natural base, the pocket base is so open. The main base is open. We can even Nidus here on the front door as well. There's so many kind of avenues of attack, so many places to exploit. You can also go into mutas, into fast spire. There's a lot of different options here available to the ZergLord as he goes for a hatch gas pool. Meanwhile, I want to give a massive shout out to Tater Tutor in the chat for gifting 1 sub to the community, to Walrus Jutsu. Oh my god. Thank you so much to the support. And Walrus Jutsu, I hope you enjoy your sub. I hope you enjoy your emotes. We do give out replay packs as well to our subscribers. So if you're interested in replay packs of like GM players and pro players, then we got you covered there. Otherwise, thank you. Thank you for the support. Quack. Quack, quack, quack. It's also asking, what does sentimiento mean? It is similar to the English word, like sentimental. Sentimiento Latino it translates kind of like to that Latin feeling, you know? Kind of that Latin passion or love, or in some way. That's kind of what it roughly translates to. Oof. Yeah. And And yeah, it's a tournament that's been running for years. I think its first iteration was in 2018, so 4 years. Oh my god. It's been 4 years of running Sentimiento Latino, and yeah, it's great to see that it is still kicking strong. Still got plenty of Latin American players to support and show our love to. Back. And we'll see where this goes. Again, typically if a Zerg player allows Stargazers through, they have some plan in mind, especially because Stargazers is a pretty good map for Skytoss. You can very easily expand and take a 3rd base safely. You can very easily take a 4th base as well. I worry for the ZergLord if he wants to play straight up here on Stargazers, against Xion specifically. Oh boy. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. As so far, nothing too crazy out of the ZergLord. We have a 3rd hatchery, no additional gases. He pulls back into gas. He should be going into a lair soon. XionS is mining out these minerals that he should be going into a fast 3rd. But there we go. As he throws down his 3rd, we have a Roach Horn on the way from the ZergLord. Again, you know, around the 3 minutes 45 second mark, just to be safe against any kind of Twilight aggression. Or gateway aggression. Once again, the Overlord dips in, confirms the Stargate. So a couple of things are happening here. One, we're delaying our XionS is delaying his Twilight Council to go into a faster 3rd, which makes sense because we want to take advantage of the map. We want to take advantage of the pocket base. So I'm curious if he's going to take that one step further and not just delay the Twilight Council, but skip it entirely and go straight into a 2nd Stargate. That's what I want. There we go. +1 air attack. I feel a 2nd Stargate on the horizon. The Void Ray does take down the Overlord in the end. There is no Twilight Council in sight. There are no additional gateways either. Only 2 gates here to defend. This is like 2021. Oh my god, he's even taking his gases immediately as well. This is like 2021 ZvP. It's disgusting. There it is. There's the 2nd, and there's the 3rd Stargate. Specifically on this map and Moondance as well, you can do this. It is riskier to do it on Moondance because Moondance has a shorter rush distance. So Roach and Queen all-ins will most likely kill you on Moondance, so it's hard to pull this off. But Stargazers, this makes plenty of sense. And the ZergLord, what is your plan? I was talking about it earlier. If you're a Zerg player and if you're allowing this map into the map pool, like, mate, something else is going to be going on, you know? You don't play standard on this map. But he is. And I'm afraid he's going to die. It's going to kill him, Papi. It's going to kill him. 4th base on the way. Massive shout out to Asher Bro in the chat. Thank you so much. Of course, a fellow caster and member of the CranKy Ducklings. Quack, Papi, quack. Oh. As the 4th base is being taken, we're working on +1 carapace. We got some roaches on the way as well. But what are we going to do? We're going to knock on the front door and run into like 10 Void Rays because we have mass Void Ray production and Flux Veins as well. I thought that this style was done, but again, there are certain maps that you can do it on in this map pool, and it looks like the ZergLord isn't going to be able to stop him. He has stopped at 66 workers though. Bear that in mind. It looks like the ZergLord is making nothing but roaches, and he's going to be going. He is working towards a massive Roach Queen push. I worry that there are going to be too many Void Rays though. That's the thing. Like, we have shield batteries, we have cannons. Soon Xion should be taking a 4th base. Flux Veins is about to finish up, so we have added kind of micro potential. Again, the ZergLord he's purposefully hiding these roaches here towards the south. He wants to keep them hidden, and now here we go. He's going to be pulling the trigger. The queens are moving out as well, so all these roaches, the overlords are going to be spreading that creep, setting up that highway here in the middle of the map. Is this gonna work? I have my doubts, but I've been wrong before. So we'll see. Maybe I should just have faith and believe in our Zerg player here. Can he pull this off? What do we have to defend? We have 8 Void Rays and 3 carriers on the way. The Void Rays are out of position. They are completely out of position right now. They're going straight for the main base. The roaches are gonna bust down this front wall uncontested. And we're gonna have to see a recall. Here we go. They focus down the hatchery. The queens have come back to defend. Show me the transfuse. Up. Yo, the transfuses will keep this alive, and XionS is not turning around. Oh no, XionS, a major mistake. He kills the lair. He can go for the recall, but the natural base has already been broken. Bearing in mind though, there are no Ravagers. None of these Roaches can shoot up, but they do focus down the Nexus. Now, who came out on top here? I have to wonder. XionS didn't lose many drones. He didn't lose many probes, sorry. He's trying to get a 4th base. Ooh, but it could be denied here. The army has to respond. Oh, can he hold on to it? Up, up. Do we see a cancel? Ooh, there we go. XionS knocked down to 2 base economy, and the ZergLord is switching into Hydras. So his first push didn't kill him, but the second one probably will right now, because XionS' economy is in shambles. He just recalled, by the way, so he actually cannot recall again. He needs more time, and the ZergLord is just going to go for a base trade. Well, XionS is going to be forced into a base trade. Here we go. For the second time this game, XionS is completely out of position. He's frozen in fear right now. He has to be, mate, commit to the base trade or turn around. You got to do something. He cancels the 4th base. His army's been spotted, and the ZergLord turns around. Oh boy. And I think this may just be it. XionS, he's going to try and take down this hatchery, but the Hydras are here. Carriers are not going to be enough. Even without the buff, the Hydra buff that's on the horizon. They are just too much here, and XionS is going to be forced into a corner. The creep is being spread. And I do believe that XionS had the tools to hold on to 3 bases and max out on Skytoss, but every time he's moved out, he's suffered as a result. He's been punished for it every time. Stay at home, kids. If you're a Protoss player, just stay at home. That's all you gotta do. Don't go outside. Social distance, people. Don't be like XionS, where you move out and your house gets ransacked. You know, it's over, man. Ugh. More of these interceptors do go down. The queens are across the map. The cannons can't support, and there are no shield batteries either. Yeah, and it looks like +2 air attack is gonna be denied here. It's on the way, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing to keep it up. Oh, transfuse! There we go. And these queens, hey, they're not gonna go down to interceptors. You're crazy, Bobby, you're crazy. Hydras were left at home. The majority of the army has moved out across the map, and this should be the killing blow here. I don't know how XionS can really defend his natural base. He does have a Tempest that will slowly chip away at the army, don't get us wrong. And he's got a lot of cannons. But cannons aren't amazing, as we're seeing here. They're not really the best unit, as it looks like we saw a recall. The army did come back home. But the ZergLord, even without his entire army here attacking, he's able to break through the natural. Break the Nexus. And looking at the units tab here, we've got 2 Void Rays and 9 carriers. That's a lot of carriers, but we have so much anti-air, we can just straight up kill every single interceptor at this point. XionS is supply blocked. The rest of the army is going to be able to reinforce as well. Pushing up the ramp is going to be a difficult task, don't get us wrong. But to be honest, the ZergLord doesn't have to push up this ramp. He will though. He doesn't have to, but he will. Ugh. As the queens are doing such a great job transfusing, just keeping each other alive and just tanking so many of those interceptors. The Hydra stutter step forward. XionS is supply blocked. He can't make anything right now. Is he gonna pull the boys? He's pulling the boys. Let's go. One last stand. Ah! He tries to break on through. but the Hydras, they're just too powerful. GG gets called, and the ZergLord will take game number 3 and the series. GG, well played. Oh. Oh. I was really concerned. I was really concerned with the first roach push. But everything kind of went right for the ZergLord. If you recall, I was like, hey, is he really going to try and break the natural with the roaches when we have 10 Void Rays to defend? That didn't happen because the Void Rays weren't at home. They went across the map instead. So the roaches actually dealt damage. They killed the natural and they denied the 4th base as well. Those roaches were kind of the MVPs. They kind of set up the ZergLord for victory there. They set up XionS for failure because they just completely cut off his economy, and he just wasn't able to recover from that point. On top of that, the Void Rays committed to trying to kill the lair, and they did kill the lair eventually, but I think we lost like half the Void Rays in the process. Just wasn't really worth it in the end. Oof. Wasn't worth it at all. And now we are going to be moving on to the upper bracket finals. Oh boy.